In the name of my ancestors. Peace forever and always, and welcome to another edition of the Reality's Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. Of course, I'm the gatekeeper of this particular program, known here on the internet as the mighty. Angel Snub 7. I am your brother, and hopefully your friend, Talik Even Raw. And yes, I want to talk about pink people. I want to talk about the racist pink people of this planet. And of course, especially in America. I want to talk about how childish you are. Yes, you are. You're childish. We don't like to hear the truth about ourselves. And of course, there are always exceptions to the rule. So, of course, in truth, I could not be saying that all pink people are like this. Now, whatever another so-called black person says, and they say that all white folks do this and all white folks that, you go and you speak to them about what they're talking about. But being a just person and using common sense and watching everything myself, I cannot come before you and say all this or all that, because that would not be a truthful statement. Just like all black people are not this, all black people are not that. I'm not about telling lies. I'm about bringing us the truth and be as factual and real as possible. If I am in error, if I am not correct, then please show me this, and I will easily apologize for spreading malicious gossip and dirt and hate speech. But if I'm telling the truth, and I know that is what is going to be presented here, then we should embrace instead of the rejection of that real truth. You and I both know, and many Caucasian people know, that they have a childish mentality. And they have this thing about being so fake. Because if you was real, see, there is no argument. If you was real, I wouldn't be making this video. If you were real, we would not be suffering under the different type of racial problems that we are having today. If you were real, but you're not real. Because in reality, you like living in a superior place. You like this feeling of supremacy over others. You like that. You like having more, being better. You like saying, I'm an American. Because being an American means I'm better. I'm greater, smarter, wealthier than everybody else. Nobody is equal to me. See, this is a sick mentality. When we should be looking out for the best interest of all of humanity. No human being should be suffering on this planet when there is so much available. But you have a certain group of people that hog everything because I'm better, I'm greater. They have become sick in materialism. So we stand in line fighting over Jordan shoes or the latest iPhone, materialistic. And we view human life as little or nothing. We put a car, a shoe, a house, material things over human beings. Fame and fortune. I'm better than you are. if the racist Caucasian people of America, if you were not fake, then you would equally share, and you would make sure that every citizen, regardless of race, has a little something. Now, if I work harder, I don't expect to get as, I expect to have more than somebody else that do not work as hard as I. That's fair. But when you live in a rich nation, and there's so much, there should be nobody out here homeless and starving and all this nonsense, because we need somebody to look down upon. I'm better, I'm greater, I'm smarter. You don't share. Let me give you an example of how Caucasian people share. In my hand, I have Brazil nuts. I have 6 Brazil nuts. I don't know if you can see them. Their idea of sharing with black people in this nation is that they take 5 of the Brazil nuts and they give you 1. And there's something wrong with the 1. When you turn it around, you notice it's an empty shell. This is the reality, and this is the truth of how black people live in America. They don't want you to have nothing. And when they give you something, on the outside, it looks like it's a full Brazil nut, but in the inside, it's empty. And you really believe that black people, the descendants of slaves born in America, you actually believe we're supposed to be sitting around and be happy with your kind of sharing. Sharing is, if we have 6 Brazil nuts, then you take 3 and I take 3. That is sharing. But since you have a childish mentality, yes you do, and you know how children are, you have to teach a child a lot of times how to share. Always exception to the rule, because I've seen children that like to share. You don't have to tell them nothing. They have 6 Brazil nuts and they share what little they have with other children. Don't have to teach them nothing, but you have a whole so-called race of people that don't like sharing. And you don't think that there's something wrong with that. Childish mentality. Children like calling people names. Oh, you bald head. Oh, you a black this. This is what they'll say to me. Children. There are no people on the planet that make up names for other people like Caucasian people do. Of course, I would be a nigger, a Sambo, a coon, and a shine. And Chinese people are a chink. I don't know what these racist names are. I'm not familiar with them. But they even have childish names for themselves. A Polish person is a Polak. I forgot what they call a German, but they have a nasty name for a German. And a Jew, I think it's Kike. You know, they always come up with some type of name. Childish mentality. But these are the people that rule the planet. So if these children rule the planet, what does that say about us who allow children to run this earth? You don't like this share. You don't want to see black people with nothing. And you have everything. Oh, everything is equal now. How is everything equal? Let us go back to 1555. 1555 to 1865. What was Caucasian people doing between 1555 and 1865? You was working, you was building wealth, you was acquiring land. What was black people doing between 1555 and 1865? We were helping you work that land and acquire wealth. So black people was getting nothing from 1555 to 1865. So you have a hundreds and hundreds of years advantage over us. But as soon as black people are free, so-called physically free, in 1865, you think that we're supposed to be on the same level that you are on right now today, when you had hundreds and hundreds of years of accumulating wealth and gaining power. That's foolish behavior. That's silly. And any type of little aid that we get, you want some too. It ain't fair. Y'all got affirmative action. Any little scrap. Here you are. You've had everything for hundreds of years. You don't. That's childish mentality. You don't understand that's childish. You get mad because we have BET. Mind you, Bob Johnson don't give a damn about black people. Bob Johnson just wanted something that could make him money. He don't care anything about black people. But there was a market that he needed, that he could fill. So he created BET. BET is not black oriented. Does not belong to black people. Matter of fact, who owns BET right now? Caucasian people. Pink people own BET right now. And its programming is designed to keep us stupid. So we don't realize this. So we don't realize that somebody gave us a Brazil nut and it's empty inside. That's what BET reflects. And you don't want us to have that. Here you are. Almost every network, radio station in this country is owned by Caucasian or Caucasian Jews. That's not enough. You want BET too. And you got it. And it's hollow as far as black people are concerned. This tells us and verifies your childish mentality. You don't understand that, but see, being a child, you wouldn't understand that, because it takes an adult to put a child in check. So when y'all black folks gonna grow up and take back your position as the king and the queen, the husband and the wife of this planet, and kick these and put these children to bed and show them what maturity is? Until you do that, these children are going to continue to go around the earth fighting and squabbling with their materialistic, wicked mindset. How can you be an adult and allow children to take over your house? Let's talk about it. Jot down your comments. Nothing racist about it. It's the truth. This was and is the Reality's Temple on earth.